Yes, anybody has any questions, you can put it forward. Before that, I'll just answer to the question that I was already talking about. Increasing the concentration span in the class. Now, we need to divide the topic in such a way that the children themselves can come out with PPTs or, small parts of explanation, because when they are interacting with their own peers in the class, it becomes more interesting. Give them a chance to do it, have group discussions on particular topics. This will not only help them to understand the concept that you want to teach, but it will also slowly increase their concentration span also. They will get involved in it. So slowly, when the concentration spans increase, you can continue with your studies on that. I hope, sir, I've answered your question.
That will be my one way of. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Who's this?
Yeah, because I was just trying the same day out, like in MSM and this one, the BR receivables. First, let me do the steps as told, and then let me see what happens, where I go wrong. So I think I can change my file also in this.
Could you please mute yourself?
You have to also validate and verify, and that needs to be looked up. Because twice he changed the logic. So we said, okay,
does anybody have any questions? So I'll unmute you for that.
If anybody has any question, they can ask. Otherwise, we can wind up, ma'am, and you can share the recording. I think there was a lot of clarity in what you spoke, and very practical and good ideas. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Ma'am, this is Arpana.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am. Yeah, it was very nice session from you, ma'am. I had just one doubt that like even in our classrooms, we can see certain students like kind of like very naughty and disturbing other students. One or two times or three times, we will just behave very like in a very friendly manner, and we'll just try to convince them. We'll try to find out their problems and all. But what if the same behavior continues for a long time or it repeats many times? Then how to handle such students? So that question always comes to the mind, ma'am.
Okay. This is usually, the hyperactive children we have in class, because, sometimes they are like, they know everything and they are hyperactive. Sometimes they don't understand certain things. And so if they don't understand, they distract the class. Like, they do their own activities and like, keep disturbing the class. But sometimes they don't realize that with them doing certain things, it gets disturbed. Best thing that you can do with such children is, once or twice you've told them, they haven't paid attention to it. What you do is put responsibilities on their head, on their shoulders. Make them a class monitor. You can give them some work to do. Okay, tell them, okay, you know what? You need to collect the books from this row. You make a list of all these things. So when they have work to do, they are involved in some activity. They will not do these kind of things which will distract them or disturb others also. Because what is happening is they have a lot of fuel in them, but the fuel is used in a very wrong way. We need to use it in the right way for them. So look out for those kind of activities for them, where you can involve them, so that when they are involved in certain things, some healthy things, they will never revert back to these things. This is the best way that you can do it with them.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
You can even have small tags for them, like, make a board for them and say, okay, I'm going to observe this, you're in this club, you're in this club. Make activity clubs for them, give them those duties to do. So they are involved in something very good, positive way. So they will never think about disturbing a class or getting distracted then.
Yes, ma'am, sure.
I hope I've answered your question, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am, you have answered very well.
Thank you.
Nice, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Any other question? Any other query? Yes, I guess no more questions.
Good evening, ma'am. I'm
Yes, ma'am.
Radha.
Yes, ma'am.
I deal with grade 11 and grade 12 children.
Okay.
So what we have observed as teachers is like they're in some negative mindset, like, okay, whatever the teacher says, it is like, we are not going to listen to that. What, even though we are saying it, talking to them, counseling them, and spending more time individually with each child, there are some behavioral issues in grade 11 and 12 age group. So how can we tackle that? Like they are like, no, whatever it is, if they get angry, they are not ready to have the lunch, or we have to convince them for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, we will sort out, have lunch. So this is how we were convincing, but they are very adamant. They are very good children in the sense related to academics and all, but there are very minute behavioral issues which they are stuck at one point, and it is very difficult to convince them, especially with this age group. How do we go about it?
Ma'am, this adolescent age is very, very, very delicate, to deal with them, because they have lots of mood swings in them, be it a girl or be it a boy, any gender for that matter. They have a lot of mood swings. We also do understand that. So sometimes we really need to have patience when we feel that they're not able to understand, or we cannot keep telling them or pointing out to the same thing. Maybe in a younger class, they must have faced some issues. It could be some behavioral issues. It could be something that would have really triggered them. And they came to a conclusion that, okay, now whatever happens, a teacher is never going to listen to us. A teacher is not going to support us. They must have got into that negative mode. There could be something that would have hit them very badly in a previous classes. So now they have made that thought, very confirm and solid in their minds. Now they don't want to change that. And it is very difficult to change the mind frame or the mindset, So we really need to work it on a very patient way. We need to give them that time. We need to give them that space. Sometimes they don't listen to us, but still, what is our duty is to tell them what is right, what is wrong. We will not leave that. We will tell. And when time comes, we need to support them and respect their ideas also, so that they feel, okay, what ma'am was saying was not wrong. When it was time to support me, ma'am was there for me. Sometimes we need to prove that point to them, that we are there to hold your hand for you. There is a hand holding from us. We will always stand by you for a support. So you can try to involve them in some activity with you, so that it builds a little more rapport with you. Interact with them even otherwise, not only when they have to be corrected or something, or you have to counsel them. Not only that, on a regular basis also, have a proper interaction with them. That will help you to build an emotional and social bond with them. So maybe slowly and gradually they come out of that aggressive behavior. It takes time, ma'am. It's not so easy to change them, but at the same time, it is very sensitive and very delicate, because one wrong move by us could spoil their complete future for them. So we need to be very careful with it, because it's a very big responsibility as a teacher, as an educator, on our shoulders also. Yes, Radha,
Yes,
ma'am, I
ma'am.
hope I've
Thank
answered
you.
your question.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome, ma'am. Yes, anybody else?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Hello.
Hello, good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Ma'am, I'm saying this session is very wonderful and taking the very normal issues which we are facing in the classroom I am taking +2 students, 17, 18 years of age.
Okay.
And ma'am, what I am seeing, ma'am, I am seeing nowadays, the students are, they have very less concentration during the class studies, as well as they are very talkative. And it's not a age then when we will say to them they're quiet and means they will obey your order. Always you have to convince them, as you told us, that patience is very much important. But ma'am, to some extent, uh, it takes too much time to focus them on the study. Then within the 5 minutes, they lose their concentration and they start talk to each other. And at this age, we can't slap them. We can't can't use the harsh words with them. But at the now myself is 50 plus. I have experience of 25 years of age. I saw that age when we say to student quiet and they are quiet. But now in this age, students student not listen. Even maybe the behavioral issues are there. So even from the last 1 or 2 years after the COVID, I am seeing it very difficult. Myself is taking the accountancy. For that time, I need the too much consideration from the student side uh, because sometimes I lose my patience, but I never show to them because then they will find out the other way also.
Very true,
So
ma'am.
at the end of the day, I feel very exhausted, not with the studies, but with the students, less concentration, their movement, though I am very calm, quiet, patient, everything. Now, what to do with this? Because on the one hand, I have to cover my studies, syllabus with the tough subject level. And on the other hand, I have to take the boys and girls. It's a co-ed school to take them with them. So, ma'am, what to do with this?
Well, ma'am, first of all, no, see, it is very difficult at this age to have that concentration level, because it's a age where, you know, they are too much into that mischief. They need to explore new things. They're curious to know
Yes.
about lots and lots of things, you know. They try to dig out in the hidden things and, like, you know, ask too many questions, what, why, when, you know, they
Yes.
come out with it because they're looking out for logics, they're looking out for reasoning, because that age itself is such. The age that they've
Yes.
stepped into is where they want to know everything. And if we are not giving them information, they look out for some other ways to find the information. Now that could be a trigger which could take them on the wrong side also. The way they gain that information could not be the right and healthy side of it, you know. So it is always better that we are very good and friends with them, so that, you know, whatever they want to know, it should be through us, because we know how much to give in, what content to give them, and how to give it to them, how to deliver it to them. And whatever it is in front of our eyes that they are learning it and grasping it, you know. So it is always
Yes.
better that we encourage them to come out with questions, you know. Okay, ask, answer them to a point and say, see beta, for your age group, no, this is the best that I can tell you. Because apart from this, as you grow older, you will learn it. See, as you learn about different things in EVS also, no, level wise level, you will learn about these things also in life through your experience. So this is age appropriate. I've told you that much. So for now, know this much. When time comes, I will give in more information to you. So this is one way that we can deal out with them. The second thing is involve them in lots of activity based learning, you know. Give them to explore certain topics and come. See, these days, no, they're very good with internet. They're very good with exploring and doing research work, you know, on different topics. So involve them in all that. Instead of only textual knowledge, tell them, see, these are the topics. Find out more about this topic. Tomorrow you will be taking first 5 minutes class. Okay. So give them that, you know, give them 2 topics. Now, for example, if you're doing, you know, you take up accounts, right? So when you're doing accounts also, debit and credit, you can have 2 children and you can have a dialogue delivery between the two, like, you know, a role play. Debit is talking to credit and credit is talking to the entries. I know it sounds a little foolish at times, but, you know, it's a way of creating innovation in class, you know. They will giggle out something, but when they giggle, no, they will remember, acha, ma'am ne na ye role play kiya tha. Remember how funny it looked? But then they'll remember it. They'll connect to it. So you can try doing such innovations in the class for them. So when you come out with these things, no, automatically the concentration spans will increase and they will not go into a negative way of thinking. They will come to a positive side of it in the class. And that will help you to take your class also. And it will help you to have a healthy relationship also with them.
Ma'am, excellent explanation given by you. One thing which I just want to know, ma'am, you use the word innovation. I am also very much interested in that to make my subject more innovative and more creative. Sometimes I need the help from the senior person or experienced person or research-based person, those who can guide me to take my subject to that creative level. So is there any website or is there anything from which I can use my, I can explore the activities through which I can teach my that lesson?
I can explore a little on it and get back to you if you don't mind through Matthew, sir. Right now, I don't have any such thing, but yes, I can always
Yes,
try finding out on it and get back to you. I will try doing that, ma'am.
Thank you.
But just give me this
Thank
5
you very
days.
much, ma'am.
Just give me 5
No
days
problem.
of Diwali to
Ma'am.
go by. I will explore on it. If I come out with something good, I will surely share it with you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you, Matthew, sir. Thank you.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Yeah, I have a question. I'm Jaya, and
Yes,
I have
ma'am.
a question very different, like, to connect and to establish a strong bonding between a teacher and a student. The students need to be there in the class, of late after the pandemic. I'm sure all the educators will agree that, frequent absenteeism, especially in the senior class, 11 and 12, I'm talking about.
Yes.
Children don't turn up to attend the classes. I mean, a lot of counseling to the parents, requesting them, and in trying to convince the students to bring them back to the school. It becomes rather very difficult. I mean, they come one day, it's like hide and seek, right? In such a situation, what would be your suggestion to establish that bonding? And I'm sure in senior classes, like, it's the same teacher continues with the class for the next session also. And that's a very good method that in the senior school, of course, we don't tag children. And we try to be as friendly. And at the same time, I mean, we draw our lines as there has to be a distance between the teacher and the student. But at the same time, when the children don't turn up, frequent absenteeism has
Ma'am, what you can do here is, first of all, try to understand what is stopping them to come. Okay. Why they are not attending, why the absentees are there. Okay. First is it due to some problem with the teachers, their faculty members in
about health
class?
issues. No, ma'am. I also said that we are not tagging at all.
No,
I mean,
it's
the
not
child is
tagging, ma'am. It's not tagging at all. Sometimes, what happens is a student and a teacher have very different wavelengths. Their views don't match. The students come out with lots of queries and the teacher does not answer them in class. Or, the teacher is reluctant to answer all the questions. There could be some such moments in the class which might have triggered something in the child also.
all this. I'm sorry to say, all this has been very well explored, and like
Okay.
probably those children who were dissatisfied with the streams, they have also been given their streams of their
Okay.
choices,
Great.
right? And is it?
Was
Yeah.
there
So, I mean,
anything
it's
that
not that
bullying kind of a thing, like, some students bullying them in
absolutely
class?
no, ma'am. Absolutely no. But I mean, this has been the issue. I mean, not only
Okay,
I'm
that
just
means
talking about on behalf of
there's
myself.
yeah, that means there are no such things that could have triggered this kind of behavior from the school level.
Yes. How do we
That
bring
means-
them back to?
That means there is something that is really bothering them, and that could be in the family issue also, ma'am. Because thinking as a psychologist or as a counselor, we need to see 360 degrees around. Why I asked you all this is because we cannot leave any stone unturned for it. We need to really understand the root cause of it. Only then can we talk to a student based on that, right? We cannot approach a child and say, you are absent for this reason, why you absent for this. We cannot shoot out questions like this on them. We need to understand
because
what happened actually.
yeah, when
And-
they come back also, they're not able to connect with their own peer. That's very
That
sad.
I'll tell you, ma'am, 2 years they've been at home, at online studies.
Absolutely.
Somewhere that gap has to be bridged now, they have been away from the peer interaction. They have only been in the four walls of the house. No doubt they had academics. They did not waste a year of education thanks to our education system. Like pillars, we all worked and the students were not allowed to waste any year. Nobody has a backlog
Yes.
with the year. But there are many other social and emotional connects that need to be mended. Children have seen a lot. Some of them have seen financial losses at home. Some of them have seen losing family members due to COVID. Some of them have seen divorces at home. They have seen fights at home. Ma'am, they've all gone through different levels and phases of mental issues at home. So, and it is not easy for anybody or everybody to vent it out. That is why I said, no, the repo building that we have with the student, should be such that the student has that trust कि मैं ये मैम से बात कर सकता हूँ, मुझे ये प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, मैम मुझे ये प्रॉब्लम है, मेरे घर में ये इश्यू चल रहा है, मैं इसको कैसे सॉर्ट आउट करूँ ताकि मैं अपनी पढ़ाई कर सकूँ. आप समझ रहे हो मैं क्या बोल रही हूँ? So we need to understand what is triggering certain things. We need to go into the depth of it. We need to dive into it and understand the child first. Why did this happen? And from when is he doing it? Is it from a long time? Has it recently started? What made him do that? When was the first time did he do? I know it is a little big task for all of us, but these are challenges that we really need to take if we need to give a holistic learning to our children, because they are our future. And believe me, when we are in school, all of us have only one goal, that's the future of the child. Be it the school management, be it the teachers, be it the parents, anybody, be it the counselors, the educators, whoever you know, their target is one, a good and secure future for the child, a positive future for the child. So we really need to go into the depth. And these children are so big, it takes time to make a rapport with them. It's easy to build a rapport with smaller children, but with these children, we really need to act a little matured and up to that level where they should feel comfortable talking to us. That is one more thing. We need
Correct.
to keep lots of things in mind when we're talking to an adolescent. It's a big challenge for all of us. Even at home, when we are talking to our own children, ma'am, we have to think twice before we talk to them at this age, because it's a very delicate phase of life for everybody.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you for your inputs.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else? Any more questions? If we don't have any questions, can we wind up for now? Yes. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for so patiently listening to me and giving in your inputs, sharing your queries with me. It was wonderful to talk to you all. If we have no more questions, can we just wind up? Thomas, sir, are you here still? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Wishing you all a very happy Diwali.
Happy Diwali, ma'am. Thank you
ma'am.
so
Same
much
to
for
you, ma'am. Thank you
a very,
so much.
very crisp
Thank
session.
you so much,
Thank
ma'am.
you, ma'am.
It was
Really,
such a
really
wonderful
enjoyed.
ma'am.
Really enjoyed.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank you.
so
It's a
much.
Really
pleasure to
excellent
connect with
session,
all of
ma'am.
you. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Our
Thank you
pleasure.
very
Thank
much.
you for this
Our
brilliant
pleasure.
session, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you. Bye.
Wishing you a wonderful Diwali, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Wish you all the same. Wish you all the same.
Same, ma'am. Bye.
Bye.